I hope y'all can see me pretty good. Welcome. Welcome to episode 2 of the Love Walk Approach. We are here. Hello. Come on in and do share. Remember, this is such an authentic, organic way of sharing. So we are going to share this podcast and invite others to join us. Yes, and yes. Across this banner right here, you will see where it welcomes you here, but it also gives you an invitation to join us on within our mailing list, where you will get inspiration throughout this time, throughout this week. bit.ly/love walk chat. Hello. Come on in and do share. Come on in and do share. Blessings, Nadia. Blessings. Today we are exploring the pillars. What does that mean? I'm going to walk you through the foundation that was given to me. And of course, over time, there will be more things that are always gathered and explained and shared. But today we're going to go through the pillars that were given to me as I wrote What If God Is All of Us? Again, if you do not have that particular book, please do. I believe the link is there in the chat or in the description. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. I am going to definitely get to that. And thank you, Destiny, for sharing. Um, yes. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to dig in today. We're going to dig into the pillars. Now, remember, because this is a podcast, we're going to be recording these things for everybody to be able to kind of just follow along at their own leisure, right? But we are going to also talk to others throughout this journey. Right now, we're setting up the platform, setting up what it is that we stand for here, and praying that you are able to follow along. I want to think of this space as, a place of just sharing. You know what I mean? Like, I know what church can do. I know what we've done as far as church is concerned, and synagogue and mass and all the different things and um, that we've done over time. But I believe that some things just need to be shared, broken down the best way that it can. And if you want to participate. And if you want to invest into yourself, there will be products and items and things like that for you to be able to glean from. But we want to just really share in this space. And so today we're just setting the foundation. All right, setting the foundation for the Love Walk approach. And here are the pillars. Somebody type that in the chat. We're here for the pillars. And that's PILLARS. We are here for the pillars, the foundation. We are here for the pillars, the foundation. So happy Mother's Day to all mothers. Now, let me say this. I believe that mothers take on so many different forms and shapes. I received messages from people today that really warm my heart in ways that they will never begin to understand, especially in this particular season of life where some of the challenges that I'm enduring right now have to do with motherhood, have to do with, trying my best to figure out what's best for everyone according to what they need, and how sometimes that just doesn't work, right? We have to begin to understand that life is not meant to always make sense, right? Especially not right away, because then it wouldn't be a journey. It would just simply be, something that we're doing, just existing. But this is an actual journey from one place to another. It's a passage that we're taking. And so even as mothers, we have to begin to understand that, hey, we're here to play a part. We're here to play a role. This is God literally living through each and every one of us, and so we play a role. Some of you are mothers because you birth children. We birthed our children, um, 2 natural births, 4 C-sections for me. You know what I mean? Six biological children. Um, but also because we've become that for others, right? We've stepped into a space where that individual may have needed it for this season. Now, it doesn't take away from the fact that they have their own biological mothers, right? I never do. As a matter of fact, my job and my assignment is that in this life is to bring reconciliation and to mend broken places and pieces, and to help us to understand each other a lot better, so that we are not living in a place of judgment. As a mom, whether one that birthed children or one that stepped in, one that was the auntie turned mom, one that was the godmother, one that is the bonus mom or stepmom as it's called, one that is a surrogate, one that is a grandparent turned parent, whatever your role may be. It seems complicated sometimes, right? But we all have our part and our role to play. So happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you, no matter what capacity that you have acted in as a mom. And please know that just because there are challenges in one space or one place in life with your children, or guess what? We're all somebody's child, right? And those parents, let me straighten so we can kind of, yeah, so my head don't keep doing this. But we're all somebody's child. We were birthed from some mother, right? And we all, those of us who have children, we understand the plight, of being a mother. So the one thing I would encourage you today is that if you have not reconciled, if you have not forgiven, if you have not done any of those things towards your own mother, or the person who was in your life as a mom, make sure that you straighten all of those things out, so that whatever needs to be reconciled between you and your children when that time comes, or if it's already here, can also happen. All right, we're just here one for another, and we're climbing out of our traumas. We're climbing out of those places so that we can live love out in this earth, and everyone can have what they need. So for those of you who had mothers who stepped in, those of you who had mothers who could not be fully attentive and they did not play the role the way that most may think they should, let's forgive, let's move forward so that we can then be in the earth what is needed through someone else. And that's really what we're here to talk about. The Love Walk approach is here to talk about that, um, to give us some foundation to draw from, so that we can fully be active in this life. We are here to talk about the pillars. All right. So I'm going to run through it real quick and give you a summation of how it was given to me, so that it may be a little bit easier for you to digest. If you have not purchased What If God Is All of Us, um, considering the Love Walk approach for social justice and global healing, then please head over there to Amazon and grab it. Prayerfully, it's in the description, and you can just click the link and go straight there. But if you have not received that book already, please do. If you have not also received the ebook, Love Abandoned, Eesh, the greatest temptation, right? If love is the greatest commandment, then that means that to abandon love, to let love go, to not love is the greatest temptation. We think that the temptation is about, smoking, drinking, and fornicating and adultery. But guess what? All of those things done are outward expressions of what's missing within. And so when love is not fully present or realized, because love is always present, God is love, so that it's never not present. But when love is not realized within ourselves, we act out. We do things that may be harmful for ourselves, that may be harmful for others. And so as we come into this space to learn and to grow, yeah, things are going to begin to change, right? Because love, the absence of love is what produces what we call evil and wickedness in the earth, right? The absence of love is what causes all of our fears. I heard someone say it, that the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is fear, right? And the truth is, hatred comes even from what we don't understand, the fear of something that we don't understand. Fear stops us from living, from doing, from being, right? All of these different things and aspects, because love is not realized. Yeah, and I won't say love is missing anymore. I mean, some people may feel like it's missing, but the truth is, love is never missing. So love is not realized. When love is not realized, agony, pain, all of the things that happen within us, that's how these things begin to manifest and develop. But when love is put in its rightful place, when love is realized, when God is realized, because again, God is love, then things begin to change. All right, so you got your notebooks out. For those of you who have already read What If God Is All of Us, then you know these pillars already, but we're going to just go over them in review. So the statement that was made in the book, and when as I was writing it, is that love walks among us, as us, and for us. Love walks among us, as us, and for us. Love walks among us, as us, for us. Yeah. Love walks among us. That means that everything that exists, there's nothing, and love is not absent from any part of this existence, right? God is all things at the same time, all the time. And so love is ever present, always among us, right? Never separate. Love literally is, God is all of this and then some, the things that we can't see even, right? And so love walks among us, and that's everything, but love walks as us. Again, God is omnipresent, meaning everywhere at once. That cannot exclude us. It includes us. Some of us have been taught so long that God is separate from us that we're afraid to even step into this truth that God is everything. So we're just unique expressions of love in the earth, unique expressions of God in the earth, right? The word or the words of God made manifest in this flesh. We all are. This is the message that Christ Yahshua wanted to give to us to help us to understand. As he's talking to the people of his day and time, these type of messages are not going to go across well because the sacredness that that particular group of people held meant we're so separate from God, everything about God is off limits type of behavior. So we took that what we consider to be sacred and we made God distant. All right, that is what some will call theism. God is separate from me. God is separate from creation. We're the creation. We're like God is somewhere else, and God just created us in some way, shape, or form. Right? That's theism. That's that conversation that most have grew up with, is that God is separate from you, and you need to somehow reach out for this God that is in a distant place to somehow have favor on you. All right. Now, I'm not here to knock anybody's belief system, but I have to give it to you the way that he gave it to me. All right. So when I say that God walks as us, that is far fetched for many. All right. It is easier for people to see him as separate because we have been sold this narrative that we are so awful and so bad and so all of this, that when we begin to think about God as us, then it makes us fearful. All right. So these are nuggets and things you're just going to have to either let get planted and then someone else waters it and then God is going to give the increase. But we are taking God out of all boxes because in order for God to get all the glory, we must understand God as is. All right. And that is as all things. I am that I am. I will be what I will be. God literally is the omnipresent one. So God walks among us as everything in existence, as us. We are unique expressions of God in the earth and for us. And so as a unique expression of God in this earth, I am also here to make manifest for someone else. The love of God is so perfect that God is the response for every single question, every prayer, and does it as us, for them. Got it? For us. For me, someone shows up in the unique expression of God as what I need, right? We all are here to do that for each other. Much of what we see around us is so much selfishness. It's all about me, got to protect me, got to hold me down, got to make sure me and mine are good. But there is a scripture that says, what good is it really for you to just try to show love to those who already love you back? That doesn't extend, that doesn't stretch you. It doesn't create anything different, anything new. It doesn't bring you into the place of full understanding. I love you because you love me. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. But when I step outside of this particular box of yours that makes you love me, then all of a sudden you love me no more. God's love is not like that. Those are temporary situations and conditions. And so we have learned to be that way, so much so that we have struggled. We have people who have lack and needs that need to be met. Yeah, and everybody's mental capacity and everybody's physical capacity and everybody's way of doing things is not like yours. So if they're not doing what you're doing, then all of a sudden the love is absent. What's unconditional about that? So God's love is different. That's why he operates and plays every role, every part. The experience that we are living is this journey to return back to knowing or being reconciled, right, with God once again, realizing love. To know, if you don't know love, you don't know God, because God is love. That's what the scripture says, right? Because God is literally the manifestation of love in all things. But so loving that we get free will, we get to choose, and know that free will doesn't come with any conditions. Do you count the cost for every situation? Yes. Do you look at every situation and say, hey, is this beneficial for me? Is it not? Yes. We're living out the journey. We're living it, and God is seeing it through us, literally living it through us, each and every one of us. So God is the response for every inquiry. Yeah, the solution to every problem, the answer to every question in and through us. So love walks among us, as us, and for us. True love hits different. You are so right, Nadia. And it is literally fearful when you're in the presence of true unconditional love, because you're waiting for the judgment, you're waiting for the next shoe to drop, and then we forgive each person who doesn't understand what true love really is, because guess what, we don't always know, we don't always act in true love, because we're all living off of the old things. We're living off of our perceptions and our ideas, right, of what love is. And if we're not receiving it, then it makes our life so awful. But we don't stop and pause and say, you know what, let me go ahead and be it. Yeah, let me go ahead and be unconditional love. Let me show up in the realization of who I am, so that we can stop this flow of negativity and pain and traumas, right? And once we learn to be it, then we can spread it. See, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into these pillars, but this season right here, and you'll hear me talk about it a few times, as to help people to really know. And I'm transparent in a lot of ways. There's some things that I will protect because it includes others, but I'll share it from my eyes. I understood the assignment, and in understanding the assignment, my journey is filled with experiences that challenge me to see if I'm going to continue to say yes to this assignment and to this call. And a lot of what I'm enduring right now, looking through my eyes, if I was going to just look through the eyes of my flesh, of my body, of my emotions, I would be so, done, like done with things and done with life, I guess, because your inner self, you want to say, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. I can't believe they did this to me. I can't believe they said this about me. I can't believe that this is happening. Because we're looking at the outward appearance of a person. Yeah. And I remember, and I go back to, we wrestle not against the flesh and the blood. What we're wrestling against is not the people. And so I have to step back from everything and say, God, there's always a purpose that you have. And so therefore, if this is not happening, if this is not being said, if this is not being done, then obviously there's something else. And I cannot allow the actions or the behaviors of others to turn me into the very thing that has hurt me in the first place. Love walking is indeed a challenge, but why? Because this is the ultimate maturity. Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, says Christ Joshua. What does it mean? Be fully matured. Love is full maturity because it accepts, it allows, it covers, and it still finds a way to forgive every single incident. The temptation to be conformed to the way of the world, y'all, is not about the activities. It's not about the outward acting outs. It's about what's happening in this heart. Don't allow yourself to be conformed to the way or the thoughts or the behaviors or the patterns of this world. Those who have abandoned love, that don't want to realize love, that only want it for themselves but don't want to give it. Mhm. It's a challenge because it is the ultimate maturity. It is the ultimate. So I don't claim to have obtained everything yet. I don't claim to not still get emotional about certain things. I don't claim to not go within myself and feel discouraged or feel disappointed. I don't claim any of that just yet. But when the challenge comes, I'm willing to go within to make sure that I don't become the very thing that hurt me. Unconditional love means without any conditions. That's the reason why God, listen, when I say that God is walks among us, as us, and for us, listen. So as us, these are just examples. As us, God is the therapist for the serial killer, the counselor, the one that understands their mind and understands that within their mind, they really believe that what they did had some type of merit. It was right in some way, shape, or form. They were doing life some type of justice. That person was trained or given some type of innate ability to understand the mind of the serial killer. Why? Because God doesn't even want the serial killer left behind or unloved. And it's interesting because the worst of the worst, or what we consider the worst of the worst, is still absolutely loved by the great I am and understood. God as us is, oh gosh, you as a mom, you as a dad, to whomever's listening, as us, as a mom, as a father, for those that are being raised, every capacity. So there is no respecter of persons with love. Love encompasses and loves everything, all things in existence, because it is all things in existence. When I'm challenged, I have to remember these things. I have to go back and remember, like, you may want to take that bait. You may want to take that bait and give everybody a piece of your mind, say exactly what you feel about certain things. Instead, I choose to focus on those things that have benefited me or are shown to me as far as appreciation and love and respect. I switch my focus real quick because there are a lot of things that could be said. There are a lot of things that happen. But if I'm not going to become the thing that hurt me, then I must in turn be something else. Realize love as myself, right? God as me. Love is our essence. This is who I am. I will not be distracted. I will not break. I will not bow, because that's the ultimate temptation. And I refuse it. It's a journey. That's why unconditional love is just, it's not pretty for most people. So to follow this path, I don't know who actually was able to listen to our pre-podcast chat yesterday. I love it. I think that's something that I'm going to end up doing a pre-podcast chat, kind of, reminding everybody that the next day is going to come, next podcast episode is coming, but to drop a nugget. And I think I asked the question, is this what you've been looking for? Because some of us are looking for this path. We're looking for this way to heal. We're looking for this way to become a better person. And yeah, is the love walk approach the thing that you've been looking for? See, I know it doesn't make sense. Why do I have to forgive them? Why do I have to look at them differently? Why do I have to still love them? Why do I have to still feed them and give them and all that? Well, you don't have to do anything. But I will give you this. Do unto others, right, as you would have done unto you. Even in your worst moments, you want somebody to love you still. Blessings, Rashida. Happy Mother's Day, sweetheart. Well, not to you, not yet. Well, no, I won't say that because I said earlier that everybody has certain capacities, and in whatever way you've mothered someone, sweetheart, happy Mother's Day. And you're a mother to be. So anyway, we have to begin to decide if this is the path that we're trying to choose. But if you're going to choose the love walk path, then there's a lot of things that have to be torn down in order to be built back up in you. All right, y'all, let me get into these pillars really quickly so that we can jump off of here and y'all can go enjoy the rest of your day. Let's see. Nadia says true love has a depth and authenticity that sets it apart. It's not just about passion or excitement, but about deep understanding, unwavering support, and a connection that feels effortless, profound. Yes! God's love, the kind of love that brings peace, challenges you to grow, and makes even the simplest moments feel special. Yes, honey. Yes. 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 Understands all things. Yeah. So go ahead. Y'all got your pencil and paper. Again, if you already have What If God Is All of Us, considering the Love Walk approach to social justice and global healing, please go ahead and pull your book out. As a matter of fact, you can highlight the titles. You already got them in there. Please still have your journal next to you so that you can actually read through these chapters again. You may want to read to them as we go along. Yeah, because we're going to start walking through each of them one by one during the podcast so that you get a deeper understanding of each. If there's anything added, God gives me anything new, I'll share it with you. But here they are. So remember I said love walks among us, as us, and for us. All right. Love walks among us. Everything, everywhere, nothing missing, lacking, or broken. God is love. God is all things, always among us. God walks as us as well. Love walks as us. God walks as us. We are the manifestation, unique manifestations of God in the earth in order to be what we need to be for the other. Remember, to bear the burdens of one another is to fulfill the law of Christ. The law of Christ, or the Christ mind, is the mind that speaks of unity, love, right, togetherness, oneness with God and with others. Yes. And it's a spirit and truth. They that worship God must do so in spirit and in truth. Christ's mind, bearing the burdens of one another, is that fulfillment of that law. All right. So love walks is our acronym. I love acronyms. So this is where the pillars begin to spring from. Love walks. I'm creative like that. Love walks. Hey, for those of y'all who are jumping on, if you are here listening to the replay of this podcast, please make sure that you connect with us by registering for our Love Walk Chat mailing list. That's where I'll be doing communication with you often. Or make sure that you are following us on Coffee, on the Coffee site, where you can come become a supporter, a Love Walk vision partner. For those of you who want to give to that effort today, Love Walk Outreach on Coffee. So coffee.com/love walk outreach. You can go and be a blessing to us there. And as we grow, we will always acknowledge what you do to show us love. All right. So love walks. I'm going to say each one, give a brief on it, but I'm not going to go into detail because that's what we're going to be doing in the weeks coming up. All right. So the L. Love lives out vibrant empathy. Love lives out vibrant empathy. Well, Apostle, why you got to include the vibrant? Why I got to be vibrant? Because I need y'all to understand. I'm not talking to y'all about pretending or faking empathy. I'm saying do it with joy. Literally, love comes into the space where it loves learning and understanding others. Because love understands that we are one. This is unity. And so even if I don't fully understand you, I desire to take myself out of my shoes and put myself in yours. Right? I think a Native American proverb says, it basically you walking a mile in someone else's moccasins. In other words, you putting on their shoes and you're walking it out so you can see it through their perspective, through their eyes. Y'all, I am such a big perspective person. Empathy is I don't want to say the easiest thing, but it's easy for me. to try to understand people better, to research them the best way I can so that I can try my best to help them according to what they need as opposed to what I think they need. So love lives out vibrant empathy. All right, love lives out vibrant empathy. The O is the one right here where everybody probably gets stuck. I don't know about that, Apostle. But love offers forgiveness generously. Love offers forgiveness generously. Love offers forgiveness generously. Generously. See the words, I know y'all picking out some of the words. So you can pick out empathy, you can pick out forgiveness, but don't forget what I'm adding to it. Right? Generously means like, we heard the scripture where it says, how many times I'm supposed to forgive them? 70 times 7 a day. That's generous. That means I'm looking at you. I know that this is something that you're doing, and it's the one we're going to work on. We might sit here for a couple of weeks. I don't know. But love offers forgiveness generously. All right. The V. Love values oneness. God is all that there is. And God is love. So that means love is really all that there is. We just have to come back into realizing it. Well, when you value oneness, that's a part of you beginning to realize love again. Understanding like, you know what? We are one. God is but one. We're unique, different expressions, but that's the beauty of God, right? A cup, a bottle of mustard or ketchup, the sands on the beach, the stones, right? All of those things. We are one with all of life, all of existence, that which you can see and what you can't. We are one. So love values oneness. E, love embraces inclusion. Love embraces inclusion. For the same way that oneness is understood, inclusion doesn't leave anyone out. See, in our biases, because we don't like something or it doesn't make sense to us, we want to kind of cast people away. We want to, make people feel like they don't fit and, oh, this is an abomination to God. But if God did not want it here, it wouldn't be here. See, we look through our eyes when we write some of these things. Yeah, we do. We look through our own eyes when we write some of these passages. Sometimes God may be giving us a whole revelation and we write it down the way we understand it instead of writing it down word by word. Inclusion. Love embraces inclusion because it understands that God is all. Any part of this that I leave out, I'm leaving God out. Swallow that for a minute. Well done. The W. Love walks in accountability. Love walks in accountability. See, this is not just the victim mentality game that we're going to play. We all have got to remember that we've all been the offender, that we've all been the villain in somebody's eyes. We've all been the one on that side as well. We're not just the only ones in life that's been offended or hurt or violated or mistreated. We've done it to someone else, whether we know it or not. And most of the time we do it because of what we may have experienced throughout life. Absolutely. But who's going to take the accountability? See, we sit and we go through our counseling, we go through spiritual conversations, and we want to, well, let me say this. Growing up in church, I learned a long time ago that it was all about striking back. We used to celebrate the verses that talked about other people's failures, other people falling, because in our minds, somehow, we think that we're the innocent one every time. Really? 1,000 may fall at my right hand, right? We celebrate these type of verses because all we can think about is the offense that has happened to us. But when somebody brings it to us, what we've done to offend them, then it's like well, I was going through this, or I dealt with this and that thing. If I wouldn't have dealt with this, and I wouldn't have been this. Exactly. So the same for the person who offended you. So we can either stop the cycle right here, walk in accountability, and just focus on yourself. Not beating yourself up, not talking about how filthy you are as a rag, not talking about how God hates you, none of that other stuff, because all that is nonsense. It's nonsense. Now, if you want to look at yourself as a filthy rag, in other words, let me cleanse this heart of mine, by all means, whatever works. But God loves us without conditions. So now when you go within yourself and in your heart, you got to start taking accountability too. Yeah. Like I told you, I may say to my kids, I don't apologize for what I said, but I may apologize for how it came out. I was in my feelings, I was in my emotions, I was feeling deeply, and so it came out like this. It doesn't matter that something just happened to me, because the something that just happened to me, I need to be able to process, heal it, so that I'm not to others, yes, what others have been to me. Somebody has to break the cycles. So in order to do that, we have to walk in accountability. So love walks in accountability. Now I did add a little bit to the A, just one word really. Because we're already talking about love. And love shows up in action. But I want to emphasize this, and God gave it to me, so I know it's not in the book, but it's definitely going to be in another one. But love acts like love itself, God acts with love by allowing. Love walks, God walks. So God acts with love by allowing. What do you mean, Apostle? Anything that's controlled. If I have to have some type of control over you or dominate you in any way to make myself feel special about whatever, there's a difference between standing in your place of authority in the hierarchy and you doing your business and you're doing your job. But when you are trying so hard to control something out of your own fear of being overtaken, there's no need for that. God does not have to hold us hostage. God allows. That's why free will is so important. And that's why it's important to understand that free will is not a game. God is not dangling it in front of your face and saying, oh, you want it? Oh, you want it? You want free will? Oh, but if you take it, then I'm going to do this. And you got to do that. God is not doing that. It's simply allowed. So our love will be present whether we allow the hell within ourselves to continue or not. Love is going to always be the same. And the greatest act of love is to allow. I'm going to allow you to make that decision. I'm going to allow you to walk that path. I'm going to allow you to explore and to see the fullness of who I am. Be led by what's happening on the inside of you. And I got to give you the freedom to do it. I think it was Carlton Pearson, God rest his beautiful soul, that said, listen, like in order to be saved from sin, you got to know that you're free to do it. You know what I mean? And it's what we call sin, but it's not. I digress on that. I'm not going to go into that full conversation right now. I ain't trying to mess up nobody's theology today. But what he was saying was, you got to give people the freedom to be able to decide. God allows us to choose. That's what the entire Romans 14 is talking about. Living by faith. That means you must be fully convinced. Anything not done in faith is sin. So if you're doing something out of control, somebody made you afraid, fear-based teachings, fear-based teachings ain't love-based teachings. In other words, fear-based is causing more of the same agony. That's what makes it so difficult to embrace unconditional love, because we're afraid that it's conditional. We're afraid that it's only based on how you act, based on whether or not you do everything the perfect type way. But no. Do we not yet, after all these years of some of us being in church, for all these years being in the different religious organizations, have we not yet understood? Have we not yet understood that love is not about trying to control you? No, love allows. It has to. And that's not something, again, that's being dangled in front of your face. You literally have the right to choose, make every decision based on how you perceive. But then life happens. So then you begin to see, oh, okay, well, I tried that. It didn't work. Maybe the next thing is. Or you'll say, well, I tried that, but I believe that faith, me standing in faith, means I'm going to try it over and over and over and over and over again until I get results. Some people feel like I just need to keep doing it by faith, and somebody else says, oh, no, that didn't work. I need to move on. Free will. Love acts with love by allowing. All right, we're going to talk more about that. When we get to that, it's going to be an intense conversation, because you're going to be looking like, So you saying that God just let people do this and do that? Yeah, absolutely. It's the reason why we don't understand why certain things happen, because we're like, God, if you're the ruler of all things, then why is this happening? And the answer is because I love you. I'm not going to control you. I give you freedom to choose. Now, what you do with that liberty is going to be based on this. So I need you to get this in alignment. They come near to me with their mouth, but their hearts are far from me. But you learn that over time. Yeah, that's why he allows it, because he doesn't want your growth forced. He don't want it fake. I could go on and on about that, but I won't today. Let's get to that L. Love lifts each other up. I remember I said God is all things. He's playing every role. He's the answer to every question. God cannot be absent from anything. So when I say love lifts each other up, now I'm talking about these unique expressions that we are. When love is realized and working within us to the best of our ability, it seeks to lift another's head. Again, love is Christ's mind, bearing the burdens of one another, strong bearing the infirmity of the weak. I'm not looking for ways not to lift you. I'm not looking for ways not to be present in your life. I'm not looking for ways to make it about me and only me. Every bit of introspection that we do is not for selfish reasons. We go within our kingdom, we go in there to straighten up our streets, so that when we do speak out of our mouths, it's in love. When we carry out an action, it's in love. When we give somebody something to eat, it's in love. When we make sure that we are the response. If God places you in somebody's life to be the response to their traumas or their issues or their situations right now, don't get so in your head and conform to the world that you say, well, God don't want me to do that right now, or God didn't want me to do. God, can I tell you, Jesus said, give to all who ask. All who ask. We could continue to think about our bottom line and our bottom line only, but that's not God speaking through us. God is love. Again, if you don't know love, you don't know God. So those things within us that we keep tussling with, we're gonna have to straighten those things out at some point. It lifts each other up. It bears the burdens of one another. That's the Great Commission. There is no way around that. That's what it says. That's what it speaks. But we begin to create all of these different rules, and we begin to conform again to the way of the world. In other words, when it says conform to the way of the world, again, it's not just talking about the outward actions, right? The things that we do in order to cope with life. But when we start conforming to the way of the world, we begin to yield to our brokenness more than we yield to love. We yield to the pain and the walls that we put up. We yield to all of that, and we got pretty nice fancy words for it too. When the kingdom of God comes, kingdom of heaven to earth, or when it happens, there will be no need that goes unmet, no lack whatsoever, because God is all abundance. The only reason why there's lack in this world as a perception or as a perceived thing is because somebody is holding it and deciding whether they want to release it to you or not, as if it actually really only belongs to them. No. Everything that we are and everything that we have, it belongs to the greater whole. And so for me to hoard it is for me not to be walking in love. Gonna be more about that soon. So love lifts each other up. Okay. Love keeps hope alive. Keep hope alive. Love keeps hope alive. What is hope? Hope is that imagination, that thing that you're seeing within your mind. And you're like, ooh, that's where I'm going. That's what it is. That's what I'm going to have. Right? That hope. That's what faith works with. Faith works with your imagination, with your hope. So keep that hope before your face. Yes, I know that unanswered prayer, deferred, it makes the heart sick. Hope, right? Deferred makes the heart sick. It makes you feel emotional. It makes you feel discouraged. It makes you feel like nothing is ever going to work for you. But hope is what faith works with. The changes are only going to happen when we realize that thing that you see, it already is in the spirit realm. But then you come into faith with it. You begin to hope. You look at it. You see the vision. You see the change. You see the shift. In my mind, this world is so excited and happy and proud and beautiful. I have hope enough to believe that we really are going to take on this truth, this love, and we're going to exude it to the rest of the world. We're going to start within ourselves and let it just pour all the way out of us. That's my hope. And yes, hope deferred makes the heart sick. So there are many times when I'm looking around like, oh my God, is it ever going to happen? But I gotta believe that it is. I gotta believe that the hearts of us will begin to open up again, and we will no longer live from our pained areas, but we'll live from our wholeness. So love keeps hope alive. All right, love seeks to know all sides. This one right here, y'all, is going to probably make me cry a little bit, so I'm not going to go too far deep into it. But let me say this. God is no respecter of persons, aka love is no respecter of persons. Love is not characterized by whether or not we are in relation to each other or not. Love does not choose sides. Love sees all sides and gives a just reply, a fair reply. The righteousness that we are seeking. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, or the kingdom of heaven. It's in here. And its righteousness. That's in there too. That right standing, that fairness, that justice. Love rejoices when justice wins out. So as a mother, as a wife, as a coach, as a spiritual leader or whatever, those who are connected to me, blessings, Quantina, happy Mother's Day, sweetheart. Those who are connected to me on a natural level, I hold close, I hold dear. And if you are connected to me and this is not your first time seeing me or hearing me, then you know that what I say is true. I love, and I love for real. I love them, even so much that it devastates me when I'm not able to pour or give in a certain type of way or be the response to what they may need. But it is not how I'm supposed to base my every decision. Love seeks to know all sides because love understands that I cannot give you this half justice, but then when it's time for me to receive justice in some way, I'm going, I need the whole thing. I need the justice for myself, for my family, for my life. Let me give you an example. There are many people who will fight tooth and nail for their family, right? We've seen it on movies and shows, loyalty to the family, right? And so much so to the point that we'll look at someone in our family who we know is not being truthful, or we know they're guilty of something, and we will literally bypass what we know they've done and make it seem like the other people are in the wrong or they're bad or something is going on in order to make it seem like we love our family without condition. But when you are in pursuance of God's love, when you are trying to come into the realization of God's love, he's not biased to your family and your family alone. He's not biased to you and you alone. My children used to kind of hate it growing up, of course, and I think that some of my spiritual daughters, they hate it too. But when they bring me something, I'm going to ask, okay, so tell me all of it. Tell me everything. Tell me even what you did. Even if you were in the wrong. Tell me all of it. Because I'm not going to stop loving you if you're in the wrong, but I do have to be honest with you if you're in the wrong. I do have to show you that this is your offense against someone else. And so you're expecting them to not feel, so you want me to jump to your defense even though you totally done something to hurt another person? And then if I don't amen or high five your story, then all of a sudden, what, I don't love you? No, that's not reality. The truth is, if I love you, I'm going to give you the truth on both sides in every way. And if you are the one in the right, I'll say the same to the other. Tell me your part. Laugh out loud. Absolutely, Quantina, and you know I will. Tell me all of it. Even as far as relationships, hey, tell me about you. Don't lie to me. Don't hold nothing back. Let me choose. Let me choose whether I'm going to be connected to you based on your truth, not based on your lie. And so, yep, a lot of times I'm going to get a lot of flag. I'm going to get a lot of emotions. People going to walk away from me. I get it. I understand. And if you feel like you need to walk away from me because I'm not going to just, now mind you, whether you're wrong or right, I'm not here to just expose you to the world. Love covers. But I need your truth in order to know how to navigate. I I I I take this seriously. I'm not just talking about pursuing love, walking. I really want to live it. And so in living it, I have to understand that God is not, and this is something that has happened because we have this favoritism gospel that we keep preaching. But if God is no respecter of persons, then this is not about favoritism. You're favored when you learn how to favor others. Mm-hmm. What you sow, you reap. The principles of God work for every single individual. That's the reason why you around here talking about, oh, well, I do this and I try my best to do this and they blessed and I don't feel like I'm blessed and all that. And you got the nerve to like be upset because somebody else got a blessing. Y'all, we living in a very selfish gospel, which ain't gospel at all. Because we want to pick and choose. And the same thing goes for me. If in some way I'm the one that's the offender in the situation, then somebody's going to end up having to tell me. If you love me, you'll tell me. And then we hear the whole story. So when we look at this situation and we want to favor one thing over another and we want to jump to the defense of that thing over something else, and then all of a sudden later on it comes smack you in your face. That's not even how it went. So yeah, I know, especially as moms, we're gonna want to be, and my sister describes me as a mama bear because I am, and I will stand. But my kids also know I'm gonna get in your face too. Hey, so tell me why you thought it was okay for you to mistreat somebody else's child. Because here's the reality: me treating other people as I want to be treated, there are going to be times and have been times where my children needed something that I may have a deficit in. They needed it from somebody else. My most of my children now are grown. They have to go out there and live in this world with other people. Blessings, Queen Amelia. They have to go out here and Happy Mother's Day, sweetheart, out here and live with other people. So for me to pretend with them and make it seem like, oh, well, don't worry, because mama gonna always have your back, daddy gonna always have your back. Yeah, we can say that. But when you're saying that, meaning that you're going to excuse their behaviors and let them think it's okay to harm another, then you are not in the realm of what God is. God is one. God doesn't look at it as, oh, this is Quantina's family, so I'm gonna play favoritism with just her family, and so that means whatever she done, whatever they done, and I'm just using that as an example, sweetheart. But it's fairness that matters. Even in my team, I know that they probably had a real beef with me for a good minute. When I'm like, nope, stop, pause. No, we don't even move forward until this right here is resolved. Let's have a whole conversation. That's why I'll tell you, I'm not a businesswoman. I mean, my shalom is my business. That's what I'm in pursuit. That's my business. You know, doing the will of God in my life for my life. That's my business. But when it comes to business and business meetings and handling things, nope. Nope. It's kind of like the scripture that says, listen, if you at the altar and you leaving your altar there, you trying to pray or whatever, and you have an alt against a brother, nope, leave your offering right there at the altar. Go fix that alt first and then come back. We may not want to hear this and understand this. We want to try to fight over what religion is true and what religion is not, and what philosophy is real, and should we study this, should we believe this, should we. Everything about this life is about what's happening in your heart. There is nothing unclean in and of itself. We do not have the right to judge other people's way of doing things. That is not love. That is not love. So sometimes I'm gonna disappoint people. Because no, I'm not finna sit up here and rage about how right you are when I'm looking at what you have just done to hurt somebody else's life. I may back up and not have anything to say at all. I'm not going to try to expose you, uncover you, and make you feel all embarrassed in front of the world. But what I am going to do is have a conversation with you too. If we are followers of Christ, the Christ mind, If we believe in the gospel of Christ Joshua, which is to bear the burdens of one another, strong bear the infirmity of the weak, he is not just talking about you and yours. We don't get to devastate people's lives and then use God as this excuse of, well, God loved me and I'm his favorite. You can feel, definitely all of us are his favorite. But the principles and the laws of God are the same for every single individual that lives. So yeah, I went on the soapbox about that one, but when we get to this one, love seeks to know all sides. I'm gonna have to give you the real. What that heart look like? You want to try to judge what theirs is looking like and what they should have did and how they should have did it. What your heart look like? And then when something does happen in your child or your mom or your cousin them or whoever, when they need the favor to come, what you sown in unfairness then can come right back. If we treat all well, if we see everything through the eyes of the oneness of the greater whole that is the great I am, then you'll understand it. You'll understand that teaching your children how to be fair is the will of God. Stand up for them, advocate for them, but also give them this balance. We got to have it. There's no other way that this world, this kingdom come. Jesus told him how to pray. He said, let your kingdom come and let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. In other words, this is where the oneness of God exists in all things. Let this earth look like that. Let this earth look like that. No need going unmet. When the scriptures talk about the people being lovers of themselves, what it's talking about is the fact that we get to this space, and most of it is because we've all experienced some type of hardship or pain or trauma, and so we go within ourselves and we begin to build this place within ourselves that keeps everything and everybody out. But when we go within ourselves, seek ye first the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, and all of its righteousness, and then all of the other things in your life will be added. Righteousness is uprightness, is fairness, is justice. So nothing wrong with you making sure that your family knows that you got them. But if you do not teach them to take accountability for their actions, if we sit up here and make it seem like it's all good for them to take. I remember once, and this was like, I think RJ was 4. He's 17 now. Good Lord. He's like 4 years old. We were living at my mom's house in Savannah. And I was in the house, I believe, fixing pancakes or cooking or something. And then, my 19-year-old, his father was sitting outside on the porch. The kids was outside playing or whatever. And all of a sudden, RJ comes, or somebody brings him in the house, and he's holding 4 bags of chips in his arms. And I'm like, son, where you get those from? Now, it's four of them outside, 4 kids. I think, was it 4 and then him or something like that? But my son left the house with a baby daddy sitting on the porch and everything. I don't know how that happened, but he left the house, went to the corner store, which is up the street around the corner. And he's so little that Sonny didn't see him come in. So he went straight to the chip section, got the chips, walked out the door, brought it back for him and his siblings. Actually, I think he brought some for his siblings. I don't even know if he got one for himself. But either way, in his heart, in his mind, he was doing the right thing. He wanted to go get them a gift. He didn't have the concept of, I got to pay for this, right? Because as a little child, you understand that, hey, love is all giving. You don't understand the concept of honoring somebody else for their services or their store or whatever. So I did not get so nervous that I chose to let him keep that. I needed to teach him a lesson. For those that want to give today, I just saw all 5s. So in the area of 5s, please. If you want to become a Love Walk Vision partner today, and support this podcast, just somewhere in the 5s, and put in the comments, I'm grace to love. I'm grace to love. I'm grace to love. I'm grace to love. So nevertheless, I had to teach him something, because I understood that maybe you just didn't understand what was going on. But I walked him right back around to the store. And I told Sonny, I said, hey, I said, somebody here got something for you. And he went to give it back to him. And he said, oh, that's okay. He didn't know. It's okay. He can keep them. And I said, well, make sure. I said, do you really want him to keep them? I said, because he needs to know that it's not okay for him to take anything from anybody else. And so, of course, Sonny let it go and he let him take the chips back around the corner. But he needed to understand that what you did was not fair to the individual who they belong to. That's a really minor example. But what I'm saying is, I needed to teach my son to take accountability for his own actions and to make sure that he understood that when you take from somebody else, that's never a good thing, because what you do unto others also has to come back to you. So definitely let your kids know that you're there for them, you love them, you're gonna be present for them in the things that they do. Say not even just your kids, but your mom, your dad, your nieces, your nephews. If you have a business, your team of people, whoever, it's okay for them to know that you have their back. But hear me. If I'm on the phone, or if I'm on a call with Queen Amelia, and I'm on a call with Nadia, and I'm on a call with Destiny, I'm on a call with Quantina, and I'm on a call with Christian, I'm on a call with Monty, and I'm on a call with Tajane, I'm on a call with Jerome, or any of my other children, all treatment is fair treatment. My kids don't just get to pull rank and say, because this is my mama stuff and I get to do this and do that. They know. No, we do not get down like that, because I do not want someone else to treat you like that. So therefore, we got to seek to know all sides, and we got to definitely speak to all sides. God is a just God. There is no respecter of person. You are not more his favorite than the next person. And I know that's a blow to some people's ego. It's okay for you to know that you are favored of God. You're loved by God. But that same love is equal for every single person that there is. And it has nothing to do with your family, your kin. We are all kin. We literally are all one. And so, nevertheless, those are our pillars, y'all. So love lives out vibrant empathy. Love offers forgiveness generously. Love values oneness. Love embraces inclusion. Love walks in accountability. Love, which we know is God, acts with love by allowing. Love lifts each other up. Love keeps hope alive. Love seeks to know all sides. There are some other ones that God has given me, and I'll probably talk about those later, but there's just one that he keeps bringing up. He's, and this is about respecting others for what they have to give to the world. Thank you, Nadia, for your love offering. Many blessings. Okay, I gotta save it. Gotta save it for another time. All right, y'all. Well, that's it. Those are our pillars. Now, remember, if you are not already registered, first of all, if you're watching us for the first time, somebody introduced you to this space, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell, get all notifications so that you are present when we go live on Sundays, but also for anything else that we upload, please do that. Also, if you are not following us on Coffee, please go to coffee.com/Love Walk Outreach Global and follow us on Coffee. Also follow us on Facebook as well. Now, if you understand what it means to be in pursuit of the heart of God, if you said it to yourself at all, then what you're saying is, I want to learn a love walk approach. I want to really understand what Christ Joshua came to teach us. And he said the greatest commandment is to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself. Get connected, stay connected, become a Love Walk Vision partner if you are so inclined. Oh, if you have not gotten What If God Is All of Us, considering the Love Walk approach to social justice and global healing, please go to Amazon.com and grab that book so that you can begin to get some of this seed in your spirit as we talk, as we have conversation, as God reveals and you get more and more of it. Can I say, technically, all I'm doing here is trying to break down in some way the message of the gospel, because the indoctrinations, the arguments, the frustration about it all, let's just get to the meat of what all of this is about, and that's loving, because love is tedious. and it takes you through some things in order to fully understand it. So stay connected. Get that book. Also, Love Abandoned, The Greatest Temptation. That is over on the coffee site. You can download that 7-day devotional to start seeing where you at. Are you ready to abandon love? Did you already quit on love? Did you already quit on God? Well, go get that devotional so it can walk you through some things. And for those of you who need a spiritual insight session, what does that mean? I'm a prophet. One of my giftings is to be a prophet, right? I don't take it lightly. It's a gift that God has given in order for you to understand, or for the next person to understand, that God sees you even through somebody that's not maybe intimately in your life. And even if I am, I'm still going to give you that which God is speaking to your life for this season. So if you need a spiritual insight session, you can also do that over there on the coffee site. All right. Thank y'all so much. Listen, we are going to begin to, as you pour in, become a Love Walk partner, we're going to have a different assignment. So we don't just want to talk love, we want to be love. Back in the scriptures, tithing was something that people did in the spiritual communities to see to the well-being of the priests of their time, right? And then there was a portion of the tithe that was given to the priest that they also needed to give. That's probably where the stuff in the storehouse came from. Well, when you give to these visions, we also are going to tithe off of what you sent us to make sure that we are being a blessing to someone else. We want to support those people who are already doing some great and amazing love walking in this life. They're already providing services, and they have budgets that they have to meet every year. So we're going to pick different nonprofit organizations and different efforts to pour into. And so as you become that Love Walk partner, then that's what you're pouring into. You're pouring into saying, hey, I believe in the mission of the Love Walk Outreach Global, and I believe that they're going to make an impact by helping others to make an impact. And that's exactly what we're saying. Strong, bearing the infirmity of the weak. And when you pour or sow into a nonprofit, you are being the strong one. You're using your strength of finance to bless their area, their weak area where they need something. So we want you to know that that's something that we're going to do in the coming time. And also, if someone wants to be a sponsor of the show itself, that will be their way of showing love here. And so we're going to get into it. But I pray that you enjoyed today. Please do share this with others that need this foundation, so that once we start digging into each and every one of these pillars, that they may show up and get some of this. All right. Many blessings to each and every one of you. I love you so much just because I can. Again, happy Mother's Day to all of you. Yep. Keep praying for your girl. I'm here. I'm yet holding on. And I just know that the sun is about to shine again. Right. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And there's so much in that, but I'll leave that be. All right. Many blessings to you, and everybody have a great day.